Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Not a Roadrunner. So this one is a very useful one because basically when I've been driving it around and kind of stayed out later than I probably should have done in this car, when it gets dark, all of the dash bulbs don't work at all. So you can't see the speedo, fuel gauge, temp, anything. I mean, it's got a clock, but I don't think that works, but not the point. So you can't see anything. So to make it more drivable and more usable, today we're going to do an LED dash conversion on the instrument cluster. So on a side note, it is a very exciting time because I invested in a GoPro Hero 8. So if the quality looks better, if the angles are better, and if the sort of overall visuals are better, please let me know in the comments because that camera is sick. So we are out in the Plymouth in the dead of night to show you how well my instrument cluster lights work at the moment. So I'm going to turn the flash off and then turn it on. Just need to pull this up. See, the headlights are on. But this is how well it works. There's a little light back there. I mean, if I do that, that little light, and my brake light. That's my handbrake notification. But yeah, that is how well the lights work, guys. So any improvement would be best. So yep, so it makes this car really hard to drive in the dark. So that is why we're going to sort that out. First thing you need to do is remove your instrument cluster if it's possible to do so. On my car, it's actually a massive pain to take the instrument cluster out. You actually have to drop the steering column. So to avoid having to do that and having to remove the dimming switches, I decided to just undo the 4 screws and pull the instrument cluster forward to give me a little bit more room to work behind the dash. Removing parts like the stereo frees up a bit of space behind the dash and makes it a bit easier to get to those bulbs. Now that we've got everything out of the way, it's time to find the sockets for the bulbs. The black cap that you can see in this clip is the socket holder that you're looking for. On the instrument cluster, there are about 10 bulbs to replace on my car. Okay, so this is what slots in, so you just counterclockwise pull it out, then you can pull your bulb out. And then I bought these, I think they're 501. I'll check that and then I'll link them below. And then you just slot that in like that, and ta-da! Then now they just go back in clockwise. It's really easy to work under the dash of this car.
Are you comfy under there?
No. That also is the sharpest thing in the car, which has to be right by my head at all times, of course. Typical me. Ta-da! Okay, so we've just changed all the bulbs, but I don't think any of them are actually working at the minute because I had a little bit of research, and some of these cars you have to put the dash, because obviously the dash is half hanging out, it's not fully out but half hanging out, to give myself a little extra room. But some of them earth themselves by the dash going on, because really all it's going on to is a little circuit board at the minute. So hopefully when we pop it back in, they shall start working. Reinstalling your instrument cluster is just the reverse of the removal process. So, something to note, this is your dimming switch, or it is at least on my car. So if you dim it that way, I had it dimmed and then I was like, I wonder why it's not working, and then when I flicked it back, it worked great. So something to bear in mind just in case you think yours are broken. Even after reinstalling the instrument cluster, the lights were a bit temperamental, so this was my solution. So after a lot of fiddling about, basically what I ended up doing was turning the lights on. Okay, not recommended really, and just twisting them until it got them to work, leaving them and then kind of pinching them in tight, hoping that they stay. If they don't, then maybe I'll do another episode on how I fix that. So overall, we're in net win because we had no dash lights whatsoever, but we did have the brake light, which is the handbrake light. I'll show you that in a sec. That's now stopped working, and we did originally have the left indicator bulb working, but that's not working now either. So we've lost 2 bulbs, but we've gained actual dash lights. So really, I'd call that a win. It's not great really, because I mean, it was the only things that did work, but we've now got working dash lights, so I can actually see when I'm driving in the dark, whereas before, all I could see was, yeah, my handbrake's on when I'm parked, and yeah, I'm indicating to the left, which hopefully you know anyway. Now that was the brake light that used to work. And then that is your right indicator up there, just above the charge. And then over here, just above the fuel gauge, is the left indicator. But that one doesn't work now either. But we do have working like overall dash lights, so net win. This is the new instrument cluster bulbs all on. It actually looks slightly more like yellowy greeny than it does in real life. In real life, it is like an ice white. And they're not actually as bright in the video as they are in real life. So it doesn't quite look as impressive on camera as it does in real life. But if you have a classic, this is definitely worth doing. Okay guys, so that concludes this episode of Not a Roadrunner. So this was, I'd say, a mixed sort of bag. I hope to fix the other ones eventually, but for the minute, this makes it drivable in the dark, which is really what I wanted out of this. The LED dash looks really cool, and overall, I feel like, you know, it was worth the time. I mean, really, all in all, it only really took me maybe half hour, plus, you know, getting really ticked off with it. So when you exclude that sort of period of like, I need a cool down because this car's really annoying me, then really it only took about half hour. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please like, subscribe and share, and I will see you in the next episode. Cheers guys.